Okay guys, I'm just going to go through the assessment task. Okay, so I've just done up a few pages here just to go through and just to give you an idea of what's involved. So again, it is worth 30%, so I just don't want to be leaving it with writing. Can be hard to interpret at times. So what we're going to do here, so 30% it's on mechanisms. And this is the breakdown of what I'm sort of looking for. Again, it's completely open-ended. If you want to add stuff to it, absolutely be my guest. I'm just going to go through this, guys, and to give you a better idea of a better idea of what you could add, different things you could change. Again, it's completely open-ended. We're 30%. I'll go through the breakdown in a few minutes. The first step is, guys, a mind map. Okay, and I'm just going to show you my example. I did rush it now, so please don't judge my drawing. Okay, so the mind map I have created is this one here. So again, in mechanisms at home. So again, this is what the task is about. It's to do with mechanisms at home. So again, you're going to pick and you're going to have a look at look for a few mechanisms at home around the place, some examples, put them in the mind map. You're going to select one, look at it, sort of reasons why is it used, what motion is involved, and then you're going to sort of pick a different one that could have been used and come up with reasons why it wasn't used. Okay, so I will go through this in much more detail. Do not worry. Sorry guys, I'm just adjusting my camera. Oh my god, I'm just going to adjust my camera. So my mind map. Now some of this mind map is good, some of it's bad, and I'll go through what's good and what's bad. Okay, over here, this side over here, to the right is quite good. Reason being, again, I've said car, I've said bicycle. Again, these are quite broad terms. So car, again, where in a car? Again, is it in the window? Is it in the seat? Where is it? Again, I've said, okay, car, it's in the engine. And I've done a little drawing of a car. I don't even know if you'd class that as a drawing, but I've tried to sketch a car there. Again, I've mentioned the motion. Again, it's rotary to linear. The wheels turn, car moves in a straight line. Okay, so again, I've highlighted motion there. So that's the thing we want to mention here. So again, another thing, guys, I want to go through is, so again, you might be saying, why would I include that car? Why would I include the sketch of the car? What? It's doing nothing. Well, there is a method to this. 5% of your task is on your presentation, so how well it looks. Another thing is, when it comes to your CBAs next year, this is very, very similar to it. It's to do with engineering at home. Okay, so you could do something on mechanisms, but I'm just going to keep it simple for now, and then we can sort of dig deeper into it next year. But presentation is huge when it comes to CBAs, so that's why I want us to get into the swing of things, try and get it up to that sort of standard. Again, if your mind map only has 2, if it has 5, perfect. I've just engine. Again, I said it's in the engine. Again, you wouldn't need more if you have there's no need to go into crazy detail, guys. We haven't done the engine yet. But if you have an idea, put it down. Again, you're being more specific there. Much better. Okay, not much better. Again, I won't scrutinize you for being that broad because I can't be expecting you to know that. Okay, another one I've done, bicycle. My lovely drawing of bicycle. Again, I've said that it's the chain that's the mechanism, and what it does is it turns rotary to rotary, so the pedal to the wheel. Okay. So again, that's another one there. So again, that's very visual. Again, I've only mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4 words, and I've shown a lot of detail there. Okay. Again, I move on. I have lawnmower selected. I have tractor, machinery. Again, it's completely up to you guys. You don't have to select these ones. So lawnmower. So in lawnmower, you have an engine, you have a blade. So you have a belt that connects the two together. So again, that's rotary to rotary. Another mechanism in here, another more motion is you have the pull cord. So when you pull the cord on the lawnmower and it starts, that is linear motion. So again, you're going to pull it in a straight line and it turns the engine. Okay, so that's your mind map. Again, we'll try and keep these nice and neat. Again, guys, at any time, if you have any questions, please let me know. Just message me on the chat and I'll be able to get it back to you as soon as I can. Again, this is just I'll let you, this can take up the whole week. I'm happy enough with that. Okay, guys. So the next thing, guys, I'm looking at is the selected mechanism. This is worth 10%. Okay, so what the selected mechanism is, so you've a selection of mechanisms there. You're going to pick one. My one, I picked, no, that's the wrong one. What one did I pick? I picked bicycle. Okay, so there's my bicycle. So again, what's the bicycle? So again, bicycle, chain and sprocket is the mechanism that's used. So I've named it. I've done a lovely drawing of it. Again, guys, you're well able to do better drawings than me. Again, what's involved? What sort of motion is involved? Things like that. So again, this you can see, that's going anti-clockwise. What way is this one going? Can they be reversed like a belt? So a belt, again, you can create the figure 8 and they can reverse. So again, one's going clockwise, it's going anti-clockwise. What sort of motion? Again, does it turn linear to rotary, or what does it do? Again, this one is rotary to rotary. Again, you're going to look at advantages. So again, the advantages of this one, again, it does not slip. They're very, very strong. Again, disadvantages, again, they can be quite heavy. They can be heavy. They have to be greased. They have to be oiled. Again, if it's made of plastic, you wouldn't have to do any of that. Okay, so again, this is your selected mechanism, one page, and just as much detail as you can on that mechanism. Again, you can do research if you want to. At this stage, I would say, you know what, include an example, but I want to do that later on in the project. Okay, so there's a topic specifically for that later on in the project. So again, that's your selected mechanism. It's a 10%. So why I selected? So why did you select bicycle? So again, I select bicycle because it's a pastime of mine. Okay, so I cycle a lot. You could select a piece of machinery because you like to farm. You can pick a lawnmower because you're used to mowing the lawn. You don't know what, and you're wondering what's going on underneath all that stuff. Okay, so that's what you're wondering. So again, so why have I selected? Again, that can be very brief. Don't worry too much about it. Don't go writing half a page. And one sentence is more than enough for why have I selected. So why is it used? Why? And then, so that's sort of that's your advantages and your disadvantages. So why? What's the problem with using it? Okay. So that is your selected mechanism. The next thing you're looking at is, okay, that's what's being used. What else could be used? So what I've done here, guys, is I've come up with a thing called possible mechanisms. So far we're only on 2 pages. So possible mechanisms. I've made a list of possible mechanisms here. Okay, so I've selected V-belt. I've done a lovely drawing, and even better, again, you're well able to do a better drawing than that, guys. And I've mentioned, so again, the motion is rotary to rotary. Again, in that case, I could say it can be reversed also. Again, you want as much detail on that mechanism as possible. Don't go copying and pasting it just for the sake of filling the page. Nice and neat, concise work. Again, so again, why could it be used? So again, it transfers rotary. That's really, so why could it be used? Why is it so? Reasons for that it could be used on a bike. So again, because it transfers rotary. Again, they're quite light compared to a chain because there's plastic components. Okay, then clearly if it's not used, that must be problems. What are these problems? What do you think they are? Again, you can research these. So again, the problem with them is sometimes they'll slip. Okay, so again, you're going up a hill and you're pedaling. The last thing you want is for this thing to start slipping and you'll be moving nowhere. Sometimes they're too flexible. They stretch too much. And then they can snap very easily. Okay, so these belts have to be replaced every so often. With a chain, not so much. As long as you keep that oiled, you probably won't have to change it at all unless it comes under incredible stress. Okay, so that's it. So again, so far, guys, so that's my possible mechanism. So again, one alternative. And now, so I've possible mechanism is a V-belt. My selector mechanism was a chain and sprocket. My last page, I'm going to talk about different applications for each of these. So that's for 5%. Again, I've written chain and sprocket, belt, and I've just split the page like that. You could go one step better. You could draw a chain and sprocket there. You could draw a V-belt there, and just draw pictures underneath. Again, it's all about showing it very clearly. You could draw it in a poster. You could do this on PowerPoint. You can do it in your copy and just take photos of it. It makes absolutely no difference to me as long as it's done nice and neat. So I'm just going to go, and that's the last page of it, guys. Again, it's up to you. If you want to go a step further and do another bit, be my guest. Absolutely. Maybe you could run it past me first and say, hi, sir. For the task, what if I added this to the project? And I'll give you the, okay, brilliant, yeah, that could add some marks. Or maybe, you know what, again, it's not, obviously, there's nothing that will lose your marks. But I don't want you to be doing something and then it hasn't the opportunity to add your marks again, because it'd just be, again, I don't want you to sort of spend time doing something and then it wouldn't make a difference. Okay? Again, guys, if you have any issues, let me know. So again, we've spoke about, so your mind map is worth 5%. Your selected mechanism is 10%, and you have your 2 questions. Your alternative mechanism is 5%, and your 2 questions. Your other places it's used, so other examples, is 5%. So both your alternative mechanism and your selected mechanism, and then your presentation 5%, and that makes 15, and that's your design task. Okay, guys, any questions? Please let me know. Thank you.